who had the most assignments or the most final assignments. It's about somebody that has invested themselves into recruiting, retaining, and training officials that will last far beyond our time on the field, court, track, or pool. With no further ado, I give you this year's Vern Norris Award winner, Mr. Mike Gentry. Mike.
Please sit down. I'm not about me, I never have been. My faith, my family, and my friends sustain me. All glory is fleeting. The accolades that you hear and the detractors that you hear, the truth probably lies somewhere in between. To go back to Ted Wilson, and is Vern still there? There he is. An amusing anecdote. Many years after I found out the truth about this story, but an edict came down from the National Federation that they wanted basketball officials on the floor a half hour before the scheduled toss time. This was because back in the day we didn't have the breakaway rims. And a letter was sent to Vern from the SMOA, stating that we would not comply with that. Mr. Norris called Ted Wilson. Ted Wilson didn't know anything about this letter because it was sent by a secretary who signed Ted's name to it. Vern told Ted unequivocally that playoff assignments would be in serious jeopardy if compliance was not a foul. Needless to say, we were out on the floor 30 minutes before. I started officiating the first year Vern was the executive director of the MHSA in '78, if I'm correct. And he was like Zeus on Mount Olympus to me as a young official. I made sure I was on the floor 35 minutes before toss time. Ted Wilson was like a shepherd. He would let his nimble students, he actually had a class at East Detroit High School that taught officiating. I thought that was the greatest thing. I wished I had gone to East Detroit when I heard that. And he reminded me of a shepherd because he would let the nimble go out in front and the others would follow. And like a good shepherd, he stayed at the back of the pack and guided those in front of him. And I've tried to do that because that's what I learned from him, and I saw the productive results that it generated. There were so many good officials that came out of his tutelage. Nolan, do I get to embarrass you now?
Yeah.
Nolan's father, Tim, called me, I don't even remember exactly what it was, over the summertime. His son was interested in officiating. He wanted to give his son a chance to be independent. He knew he was a young man, soon to become a man. So I said, have him email me. And he did. So we hooked him up with a young man, he's 26, I believe. Nick Myers, his name. He referees in the D-League of the NBA. And Nick was ecstatic with the opportunity to be a mentor to somebody because we had so many mentorships going on. It was difficult for me to mentor them all individually, so I had to start doling it out. If I can encourage everyone here that's an official, open up your arms to these young officials and get with the assigners in your area and get them a game to work. We have 2 juniors from the Commerce Township area this year. We took one of them to a middle school football game, put the white hat on him, and the coach from the visiting team after the game asked, all right, which one was the legacy official? And this young man, Connor Moore is his name, he just beamed from ear to ear when he heard that. I'm not going to go on and tell you war stories. I don't have much to say. I am going to speak to Jackson, though. Keep up with the water polo and encourage others. There's people in this room that have a picture of me in a water polo official's outfit. Obviously, it's not a sanctioned MHSAA sport, but I have dabbled in it. A good friend, his son played, and they were always looking for officials, so he encouraged me. I went and watched his son play one night. La-di-da, long story short, I went out and bought the white Adidas shoes, the white pants, the white polo shirt. I was flying. To the MHSAA and Mark, thank you for all you do for officials. To my family and friends who came tonight, thank you very much. You know I love you all. They told me, I thought originally they told me I had 45 minutes, but they actually said 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm not going to embarrass any of you, except my favorite nephew named Dominic. Will you stand up? Dominic just got a new nickname. What are you, the 133? He was in town today for the orientation for the Michigan State Police camp, which opens. He's the one we should stand up for. His father is also a police officer, and his maternal great-grandfather was a Wayne County sheriff back in the days of Prohibition. Good job. We're proud of you. Thank you to all the officials that I've worked with in the metropolitan Detroit area over the years. I've learned from every one of you. Pat Jones, I'm sorry I startled you at that volleyball game, but I was just coming to say hello. Thank you very much for your attention and for this award. It's very, very much appreciated. Everybody have a safe trip home tonight, and if you want to know the truth about me, come and ask me sometime. I'll be more than happy to tell you. Thank you.